Alright guys, so we've just had a rainstorm move in and temperatures dropped 5 to 7 degrees, and it's much nicer than it was earlier this afternoon. So I thought maybe it's a good time to make a video and share with you guys my setup for next season. So if you've watched my previous videos, I talk a lot about these Tethrd Skelators. In my opinion, they're one of the best sticks for the money that you can get, especially if you can adjust them a little bit like I did and add these retractable aiders, or just add aiders to that. Will get you probably to between 18 to 20 foot of hunting height, depending on how far your steps are and how tall you are. But for me, I can get there pretty easily. But I've really enjoyed using them in the past. I ran 3 sticks with my Tethrd Phantom and Tethrd Predator platform, and I really enjoyed that setup until I had to go to a different spot that I've never hunted before, and I had to do a lot of walking, I had to do a lot of scouting, and then I realized that weight really adds up and it takes a toll on you, and you're pretty tired by the end of the day and kind of have a hard time to wake up for the next hunt next morning. So I started thinking about moving to the one sticking method, and before jumping on the expensive wagon of the ultimate one stick or any of the other products that are out there, I wanted to first try using a simple one stick from Tethrd. This is a pretty light setup. I think with all of this it's barely more than a pound, and I've enjoyed it. I got the repellent rope and all the one sticking gadgets that I needed, plus running this stick with my platform, and I've enjoyed one sticking. But I ran into a couple of issues using the Tethrd one stick. The first issue that I encountered is the way this stick attaches to the tree. So if you are familiar with the Tethrd products, let me move this camera, you know that they have this attachment method here in the middle that is very strong, and it works for multiple sticks. But if you are planning to move the sticks up the tree with you, then it becomes a problem, because it's very hard to untangle the rope from this attachment method. So usually you would go around the tree, okay, and then I like to go below and then around, and I like to make an X right here. And if I'm running multiple sticks, I'll make a loop and then make a knot here, and now the stick is pretty solid and it's not going anywhere. But the problem shows up when you're trying to open this and then open this X attachment and move it up the tree. So that's one problem. The second problem that I ran into has to do with this rope right here. It's a type of Dyneema that they have, and it's very strong. But the problem with this is that it's very thin, and it bites into the bark of the tree. Now this tree right here has pretty strong bark and it's not gonna bite into it, but if you're climbing a pine tree, for example, this thing digs deep into the tree, and when you're trying to get it off the tree and move it up, it becomes a problem. So these are the two main issues that I ran into using this Tethrd one stick. But overall, I enjoyed the one sticking method, and I wanna use it next season, especially for hunts where I plan to go deep in the woods, and hunts that are out of state, or in places where I never hunted and I still need to do a lot of scouting. So what I started thinking about is how to take the extra stick that I have from the Skeletor system and convert it into a one stick. And this is what I came up with. This right here is what I'm gonna call the mini Skeletor, and it's a modified platform from the Skeletor, and it allows me to do one stick climbing pretty efficiently. So the first thing that I changed about the Skeletor is the attachment method. So you notice here that I have a cam cleat that I added to the stick. So instead of the X attachment method, now I have a cam cleat that is easier to detach and move up the tree, and it's more suitable for one sticking. So that's one modification that I did. The big thing that I found, or the biggest problem that I encountered when trying to use the cam cleat with the Skeletor, is the groove that runs in here in the middle of the Skeletor. Now this groove is intended to give you more foot room when you put the stick against the tree. The steps are inclined outwards away from the tree, and that gives you more step size as compared to what you would have if you're running the Tethrd 1 stick. So that's an advantage, but it creates a disadvantage if you're trying to put the flat cam cleat bottom on this right here. So what I came up with, and I have it here in my pocket, I have a couple designs. So I designed this adapter right here to go in that groove and fill in the groove. This way the cam cleat will sit flush against the stick. So this is a 3D printed model. This is what I started with. You can see here that it only has 2 holes for the cam cleat. Now if you're worried about measuring the distance between the 2 holes, the cam cleat package comes with exactly how far the 2 holes are from each other, so you'll have that measurements in hand. I still had to do some measurements to come up with this angle right here. Maybe if I can use the red one, there you go. This angle right here, the angle of the groove, and this flat surface right here that goes against the stick. And this is an updated design where I added a hole here in the middle with a countersink. This is where I'm gonna take that bolt from the X attachments method to this new adapter. So it's gonna run through the adapter through the stick, and then I'm gonna tie it in there, so it's gonna hold the adapter in place. And then these 2 holes are intended for the cam cleats. So after coming up with the 3D printed model and making sure all the measurements are correct, I moved into the next step, which is machining this part out of aluminum. So you might be able to use a 3D printed adapter, but I wouldn't trust it, so I went with metal, and I chose aluminum for it. So I had a friend of mine help me machine this part using a CNC mill, and he's done a great job. This is another piece that he machined for me, apart from the one that I have on the stick. So if you can see here, I have that part sitting in the groove, and then the cam cleats on top of it. And if you look at in the back right here, I have 3 bolts. You can see that one runs in the middle, so that's what attaches the adapter to the stick, and the other 2 are for the cam cleats. Another thing that I added is this strap right here. You can see that I added this simple strap that I had laying around, and I decided to use zip ties to attach it to the stick. This way I can use this strap to put around the ropes and make sure they're not flapping when I'm walking in the woods. So this keeps the rope, the attachment rope, and the aider that I added, which is another mod, in place. So talking about the aider, I have it right here, so let me get it out. I added a 2-step aider that I had in another stick that I'm not using anymore, and you can see that I have added, I think it's probably 20 or 22 inches each step, so it gets me pretty high in my first step. So I need pretty much 3 steps or 3 moves to get to 20 to 23 foot which is way higher than what I usually hunt from. So probably just two moves to get to hunting height. And then I got this attachment rope from the amp steel guy, the same for the Tethrd, and it's designed for the cam cleats. It has a bigger diameter, so it doesn't bite into the tree. It doesn't go in the tree as much as the thin Dyneema rope. So these are what, 2-3 modes that I added. I also attached the rope to the stick using zip ties. This way it doesn't go up and down, it stays in place. So that's pretty much it. What else did I add? Of course, I shortened the stick, so if you look here compared to the original one, it's probably 3 to 4 inches shorter. So I measured step to step and it's 13 inches, and the overall length of the stick itself is just a little bit shy of 15 inches. So it's not a big stick, and it has a low profile, especially when I attach it to the bottom of my backpack, same backpack that I ran before, the Tethrd backpack. So when I have this one right here, just put it here. I like to go a little bit high, maybe over here, and then you run it around the tree, and then it's cinched in place. Okay. Couple things that I added is this loop right here at the top. So this is a loop that I added, and I ran it through this step. This way, when I'm done and I'm ready to climb down or rappel down the tree, I can take this loop right here and attach it to an S-clip that I added to the side of my saddle. And then when it comes to the steps, I added some duct tape to the tips of the steps. This way, when I put them together, they don't click. And I did the same thing here. I put some duct tape, I'm not sure if you can see it, but I put some duct tape in this groove, and when you close the step, you don't hear that click, that metal click sound that you usually hear with the Skelators. Now to pack the stick, I'm gonna open this clamp right here, and then I'm gonna run it to the top, and I'm gonna go in an X motion right here, always on the inside, and then same thing here, always on the inside, go on the inside, and I'm gonna roll it around, and I'm gonna run it through the cam cleat. So this is how I assemble the rope. For the Tethrd, I do the same thing. I go here and I go around, and I go here on the bottom, and I'm gonna open one of these steps, and then I'm gonna run it through it. So I'm gonna run this through it, and then close it, and then run it through the step. Let's see, probably should have put it through this one on this side. There you go. Should go through here and then around, and then I'm gonna close this step. This way the Tethrd stays inside. Now when I'm done wrapping everything, I'm gonna take my clip and I'm gonna close it, and there you go. I have my stick wrapped and ready to go in my backpack. Now for my saddle, I still intend to use the same Tethrd Phantom saddle that I've used since I started saddle hunting. I really like that saddle, and it fits me really well, and I still plan to use it next season. For the ropes, the rappel rope, I got it from Eastwood Outdoors. I think I got their highest end rope. I think it's a 9mm or maybe 8mm rope. And for my backpack, I still run the Tethrd backpack that I ran before. So that's pretty much it. That's gonna be my setup for next season. I hope you guys got some ideas from this video, and let me know what you think in the comments. All right, see you next video.